Hi everybody, what is up? We are carrying on with our exploration of the different rating levels. So here I'm not playing against low rated players. For once I'm watching them play against each other. And we've done the 200s, the 300s, and now we're into the 400 to 500. So I've picked 3 games at random from my chess.com friends who are rated between 400 and 500 in rapid at the time of the game. And I don't know what's going to happen, and neither do you. Shall we find out? It's so exciting, I can't bear it. Okay, let's go. We have e4. So first up, character NYC 1990 from Ireland by the look of things. Okay, we've got e4, e5. Excellent way to start a game. Knight f3, knight c6, and we've got an Italian. And the 2 knights defense against the Italian. Right, this could be any level at all in chess, but good to see after 3 moves we've got a recognizable opening. Okay, and we're now going in. So sometimes this is called the fried liver invitation because you're allowing this knight to come in. Okay, now this attack on here is not actually the fried liver attack, but we all know what we mean. This is the Italian game, the knight attack, and black just invites it. So here white gets to capture this pawn for free. I think the move here, for future reference, is pawn to d5, hitting the bishop, right? And if pawn takes, then the bishop is no longer looking at that, right? So then you could hit the knight, I guess. But I don't play this line anyway because I play the Russo because it's better. Well, I think it's better. Anyway, so knight's going to take f7. There you go. Fork on the queen and the rook. Not looking good. Okay, you should probably just snatch the rook because also he's got an escape route already here. Looks pretty good. So snatch the rook, yeah? Good, snatches the rook. Black takes on e4. One option here for white is bishop f7 check, because then that king's got to move and lose castling rights. I would consider that for sure. Also, if I was white, queen h5 check is tempting, because this isn't on. You can just take again with check. So maybe that's the move. He plays bishop f7 check, and the king moves. Okay. Interesting to know if queen h5 check would be better. And now we have d3. This is interesting. So white's saying, look, my bishop's fine. It's defended. Nobody's coming after that knight. Yeah, this looks kind of good. You've got a piece in your half. One of your opponent's pieces is in your half of the board. Why not just tell it to sling its hook? It's probably I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back here. Then putting a second attacker on the bishop. But the bishop can always just dodge out of trouble. And then the knight can use this with check as well. But it doesn't quite get out of dodge because it hasn't actually got any squares from there. Anyway, okay, so knight goes in that way, hitting the bishop. Ooh, that's not good. Right, so what white's done here is he's failed to see 1, 2 attackers and 1 defender. So he's going to lose the bishop. Yeah, good play by black. White trades off here. But he's still up in exchange because he did win the rook. This move as well has to look a bit weakening, you know, because now we're thinking, right, am I going to castle my king? Well, nothing's moved on the queen side for white, which is a bit of an issue. So I think probably knight c3. I'd think about just getting this bishop out somewhere, get the queen out and castle. But so white is probably better, although he's got no development. And yeah, that pawn move is just poor because he is up an exchange. And black can't castle. So out comes the bishop. So I'm guessing now white's starting to think about that. About getting castled. Out comes the knight. Okay, got to be a bit careful here. You know, a move e5. Sorry, e. I'm saying e because it's in front of the king, because the king's not where it's meant to be. d5, d4 would be a problem. That'd be a pawn fork on bishop and knight. So he's developing as well. Obviously you can't castle, but you can castle by hand. Maybe lift the king. Centralise the rook, tuck the king in there, be nice. This move is actually playable by white, defended by the queen, g4, with tempo. Okay, that's interesting. See, at this point, I'm surprised because in my mind, just getting castled is the priority. But like we've seen throughout the 200 and up, hang on, let me just check. I'm just checking in my book that I've written down what the issues have been so far. Okay, so we've done 100 to 2, that's all right. I was just having a moment there thinking, oh, have we done 400s already? Excuse me, I'm losing it a little bit. Okay. So this move, what we're doing, we're opening up. So takes, we could take, takes, queen takes with check. No, it's not check, because the pawn's still in the way. So I don't really see the point of this move. Right, get castled first, get your rook on d1, and then open up the centre. But again, that is plus 1000 thinking. Queen moves back to e8. I guess it's adding another defender to this pawn here. Okay, so what do we have now? d5. Blocking up the position a little bit. So now we've got a closed d-file, and it comes to tempo on the knight. The knight can go there, and can go there, and can go there. So it's a bit toothless. Knight could even come here, but then that is defended. Oh, it's defended twice. Yeah, so he comes in. What's going to happen now? You're going to get kicked out, I think. Now, this does make sense to kick him. Can't go there, can't go there, can't go there. So end up going back to a6. Short castles. Okay, now, is this pawn going to prove to be a weakness? Because it's undefended. And black comes after it straight away. Now here you can take. Takes with check. Then the queen's got nice scope there on the light square diagonal. You could still also just kick the knight away. But that move... Yeah, okay, so I see what he's doing. He's extra defending this. Yeah. So here, if we'd hit the knight, you'd probably just get that, forking the rook and the bishop, and that's going to be good for white. Sorry, that's going to be good for black, but no, it's not, because black's behind in material, isn't he? Yeah. Okay, slightly odd move. Another queen. Okay. Could have just took here though, and just threatened to come here and just break open the king. Okay, with takes with check, like we said. Okay, white doesn't really want to trade here. Okay, targets the corner. This is not bad, you know. We can definitely feel the improvement here. Okay, and that knight is now not very happy, although it does have this square to come to. As white here, I'd be looking to get this queen round, I think. She can't go there. Yeah, just get the queen off the back rank somehow. These two bishops side by side are controlling a lot of squares, if you look at it. Yeah, I don't know what it is about side by side bishops, but they do seem to control more squares than not side-by-side bishops. Just feels that way. Okay, this is all right. Trying up the queen side. King comes in again. Queen out here. Just for the sake of it, I guess that might fall to this. Queen has to move. Maybe using the pawns. Oh, but it's definitely better. See, this is quite a loose pawn play from white here again. You saw the H pawn go out on its own. Got picked off, didn't it? That's what happens when you split from the herd. Well, white is up material. I definitely consider trading here. Mess up those pawns, but more importantly, open up the centre. No, he pushes another pawn. Rook comes in. You've got to be a bit careful now. Okay. Take it. Take it. You've just pushed your pawn on a dark square. These light squares are very, very weak. Take the damn bishop now. What is it with the pawns? You just... Oh, stop pushing pawns now. You get on my nerves. You're +3 materials. Just okay, king runs out the way. Good, that's important. Check. King dodges out the way again. I think that's mate. I can block with the pawn. Check. Blocks with the pawn. Pawn takes. Now, I haven't got the engine and lines on here. See, now it's black wanting to open up the centre. And the boot was on the other foot not long ago. But white just started pushing pawns for no real benefit. Okay, so we take here. White can just take and hit the queen. That's what you should do, I think. Okay, so instead he goes after the knight. But what do you do against a move like... Hang on. Did black even have to take there? What about this? The king has there. Yeah. Okay. Check. Okay. Gosh, this is nervous stuff. I'm nervous. Are you? Hit the queen that way. This is still a problem though. You have to go here then, don't you? Okay. Yeah, there we go. And gets checkmated in the middle of the board. Interesting stuff. But I definitely feel like we've gone up a step from the 300 guys. Yeah, but to me, the overriding memory of that game was just white's unnecessary pawn pushes, and that's something that we get a lot. Okay, so what was that? That was a 10-minuter. Okay, good game though. I enjoyed that one. This one's a 30, and our hero is FGR 1977, a mere child, and they're playing Mimmo Percola from Italy, rated 404. So FGR is slightly the higher rated, and we have a D4 opening. I bet we're going to get a London. No! We get a Trompowski. So this is tricky. You know, Simon Williams has been playing these in Title Tuesdays as well. The move I play here is knight e4. Just go after the bishop. I had a trump over the board, which was a rotten game that I did win when I was playing for Chesterfield. Back when all this was just fields. Okay, e6. Uh-huh. What are you thinking? This? He's just pinned his own knight. This, I don't know. I mean, maybe. It's called the classical defense, so go figure. Okay. And black's just saying, I don't care about that. This is fine. And white's now proceeding to build his London pyramid anyway, even though he's played a Trompowski. All right. And there we go, bishop e7. Okay. This is all fairly quiet and respectful. h6, like to see that. Put the question to the bishop. This is, I don't know, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because there's different opinions about the role of this bishop once you've made like your dark squared thing. I'd probably drop back here and try and tempt black into overextending. No, he trades. Okay. Now, black has 2 bishops and white has only 1. Now that's thought to be a little bit of an advantage if you can open up the board. If the board locks up, then that advantage is no more. Okay, you have knight bd2, castles. I think, can we trade here? If we trade here, where do we put our bishop? There, takes. So we've got double pawns on the e file, no d pawn. The bishop's going to have to come here or here. I don't know. Maybe just d6 and see what happens. Okay, we have takes. You could have, yep. Ignore me. You can take this That's what I missed. You can take it with the knight. We both missed it. But now he can take en passant and resolve his... Okay, forgot that. Okay, f3. What are you doing moving your f-pawn? You should never move your f-pawn. Yeah, there's a check, but that's met with g3. So that's not worth it. Just snatch the free pawn, please. Like we said, I was going blue in the face with the previous ones, of people just ignoring or not spotting undefended pieces, both your opponent's and your own. And he does this, of course he does. And of course g3. You did not just do that. You did not just hang... Right? First you don't take the pawn, right? That's sitting there for like 2 moves. And then you think, I know what I'll do about that pawn. I'm going to stick my queen in front of it. So he takes the... You know, do you ever look at your life and go, what's it all about? I mean, why do I bother? Move the queen. Thank you. Deep breath, hunting. Come on. Right. Now, again, pawn addict. Pawn addict on plate with the white pieces here. Right. Just, yeah. He's created all of this space here. And he's not developed. It's at move 13. Yeah, black is slightly better, but black's only 1 move away of completing development. You know you've done that when the rooks can see each other. They can't right now. Okay, he could just do this now and complete development. But he pushes forwards, inviting white to take towards the centre, but then I guess we can take back. I mean, it's not bad, but black's just better here, despite hanging his queen like an absolute dickhead. Okay. Fair enough, you know, putting the rook behind your passed pawn. It is a passed pawn now. There's no pawn that can ever stop it. Because white is just going nuts with his pawns. You can stop that right now. Don't move another pawn, right, until you've got your pieces out. Castle your king, dummy. I just said you weren't allowed to move another pawn, and you've gone and moved another pawn. You've only got 1 fucking pawn that you haven't got put off the thing now. What's the point in this? Eh? This is going to come and bite white on the arse, and I'm glad for it. Oh, look, he moved a piece. So he's now got 2 attackers on this. Material is equal, but black is so much better, I'm sure of it. It's still attacked twice though, Jellyhead. You can just take it with the bishop now. Yeah, it pins the bishop, but the queen can move out of the way. Thank you. Don't you fucking start moving pawns up the board. You've just heard me tell him off. Now, the response to your opponent overstretching with his pawns is not to just meet them with a big pawn melee in the middle of the board and open everything up. Could put his knight here, hitting the bishop twice. The bishop is also pinned, right? So that's what I'd do. Attack the bishop. It's a pinned piece, right? If it moves, the queen dies. Boo-hoo. Attack it. Yeah? Other ideas, b6, bishop, b7, you know? Then think about maybe doubling up the rooks on this. Big glaring, big red light going off. Is the king still in the middle of the board? So yes, this could open up the board, but is it really? I mean, if he takes, queen takes, we're not hitting the rook because it's defended by the queen. But if white just lets you take and takes back, white's actually fine. Okay, but white blinks and takes and takes. And hangs his knight. Right. The only thing to worry about there could be if the bishop could move with check. But even then, you've won 2 minor pieces for a rook, which is actually better. The knight's hanging, Jellyhead. Take. Okay, I would take the bishop here. Yes, good. Somebody explain what's wrong with queen takes knight. So not only has he gone, oh, I'm in check, I must move my king out of the way. Where can I move it? I'll tell you, I'll move it and attack the knight. Right? No, not only has he done that, which is in itself shitting the bed, but he's put his king in line with a rook on an open file. I understand that's a positional concept, but it's not the hardest one in the world. And opened himself up to a fork on queen and rook. You deserve to lose this. And the knight is lost. Okay, this is just... yeah, this is going to turn into a bloodbath. Takes the piece. Okay, discovered check. Oh! Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, did you, eh? Eh? Hey, you didn't see that one coming? Yeah, he should have snatched the knight, isn't it? Bishop e6, counter-attacking. Well, you deserve to... That was an absolute dog's dinner. Obviously, there were blunders galore both ways round. I'm not even going to look at the guess that I don't even care. It's just going to... it's going to make it worse. It's going to pour... what do you pour? Salt on the wound. Let's try and cheer ourselves up with Tasmaniacal. Good word. Be from Tasmania. Is Tasmania what was called Van Diemen's Land in the old days? I don't know. It's been a long time. Tasmaniacal. Love it. Against S3DR from Greece. Don't know. Might be an Audi. I don't know. Okay, so are we going to get a good old e4? Of course we are. Owen's defence. So what I do against Owen's defence is I play bishop e2 and then bishop f3. Because sometimes they'll bring their knight out and you push this and they think, oh, I best move my knight, and then your bishop takes their sniper right out of its nest. Okay, but grabbing the centre. Okay, this pawn is undefended. Should probably be defended. You can push it, but you don't really want to do that. What you want to do at this point is develop your pieces, like that, or even that. Probably not f3, because as everybody knows, you shouldn't move the f-pawn. Knight c3, like it. See, we're playing chess now. Isn't this nice? Okay, develop the other knight. This is good. What have we said? Right, control the centre. Okay, 1 pawn, 2 pawns. These pawns are controlling all of these, and they're on these squares. And these squares are also defended by 2 knights, and so are these squares also defended by 2 knights. And the bishops, look, these bishops have now got complete line of sight over all of this. This is absolutely perfect situation after 4 moves. Well done. Tasmaniacal wins. Let's see what happens. The knight is pinned. Okay, what that is doing, this is an absolute pin, so it can't move legally. Therefore, this pawn is now hanging because the knight is not legally permitted to capture. Therefore, we need to defend it again. So bishop d3, queen e2 maybe, or push maybe. Oh, yeah, that also works. Breaking the pin on the knight. Now, if you take here, we take back. Oh, it doesn't work. But now the knight... so now he can't do this first, because then the knight can take and you lose a piece. But this still wins a pawn. So it's an idea. I didn't think of it, because it didn't work. Not that all my ideas work, if you've seen my games. Okay, knight f6. It might be now time just to push e5 for tempo. All right. No, this is good too. This is good too. He's developing his pieces. Right, move 6. He's moved 2 pawns, which is what you have to do. He's moved his knights. He's moved his plugs. And now it's time to get the queen off and the back rank and get castled. So white is playing absolutely great. Now e5. You don't need to open up the centre. e5 comes to tempo. It's a free move, right? What's more, you've given black this bit of a wall here, right? And that bishop is now miserable, and this knight isn't much better. And then you're going to attack this way, right? Because that, I would do this move, right? And here's the thing. When your pawns are like that, and opponent's pawns are like this, opponent wants to be going this way, right? He's going to be attacking this way in general, okay? Whereas you're going to be attacking this way in general. Does that make sense? You attack the direction your locked central pawns are pointing. I wouldn't trade here, but it might work out all right. You'd have to calculate. So what's he going to take with? He could take with the bishop, the knight. Doesn't want to take with the queen. Takes with the knight. I think I'd castle here. That's a move. I wouldn't keep trading. A lot of beginners just like, oh, there's tension between pieces. Something can take something. We'd better resolve this as quickly as possible. No, figure out what, how does it work out? If he takes there and you take with the pawn, he's got to move his bishop. Okay? And this is not a bad pawn structure if you've castled that way already. Okay? I mean, you could take, but quite honestly, if he takes here and you take with the pawn, his dark squared bishop ain't a good bishop. It's got to go back here or here. I'd castle. Good boy. Well done. Putting the question to the bishop. What is your intention, Mr. Bishop? Retreats, and to a decent square as well. Look at this. Yeah, it's a useful square he's thinking about. It's attacking. 4-6-5 rated. I'm liking this. Okay, rook e1. Improving the rook. Don't have it sitting behind a pawn. All right, you also want to get your queen off the back rank at some point. This is pretty. Okay, improving. Right, now we've practically completed it. I know he's, no one's pulled their queen out yet, but queen's out yet, but yeah, improving your pieces, getting them closer towards the king. This bishop is strong. You might think about even something like this. I don't know. Oh, he gives it up. Okay, you can trade that off. Yeah, I don't know. Look at this bishop here, right? Do you really want to be opening up the light squares around your king? Again, I know that's an intermediate level thinking, but, that's how I think. So. Oh, wow. Wowzers in the trousers department. Upping the danger levels. I can't see anywhere nice for that knight to go. Could go back there, but that's it. Can't go there, he gets took. There he gets took. There he gets took. There he gets took. Okay? So it's a choice of there or take the bishop. He takes. We take back probably with a bishop looking at h7. Then our king's open, but then we're going to play king h1, rook g1. Knight here and get the queen into play and white wins. So I would take the bishop. I was going to take it with the pawn, but that's better. Hang on. Materials equal. We take them, they take us. We have to move the knight. Oh. Yes. See, what's happened is, so he's taken here, putting the bishop on prise. So now he's got two pieces on prise. But this move is absolutely, has to be the right move now because he's still attacking two pieces. Having said that, the bishop is defended. So bishop takes pawn. Knight is probably going to take. Oh, and then, no, then we win this. Oh, that was far too complex for my little brain to figure out. That was far too complex. Okay, so he doesn't take. Good. Wow. I think I'd probably drop back. Or just take the horse. But that improves his bishop. That puts his bishop on a really good square. Yeah. Okay. Hits the queen. Danger levels are us. Okay, that knight is now in a pin. Oh, crikey. It's got all very... it's a right melee now, isn't it, in the middle of the board? I think a move like c4 might not be too shabby here, actually. But it's definitely a scrap, isn't it, now? Okay, improves his knight, which is good. This is just why. So if bishop takes, you take with the pawn, get it, but bishop's not going to take. But you've just made this bishop really bad. That looks clunky to me. This looks clunky to me. Now, white can actually capture here with check, right? With the bishop. If knight takes, he loses his queen, so that's a free pawn. And he doesn't spot it. Take the pawn. Yes! Get in, son. Yep, figured it out. And now bishop just retreats and hits the rook, yeah? Do you reckon? Or can the queen come in? I don't know. Maybe take this. You'd have to calculate that. No, that. Knight f7, royal fork, game over. It's worse than that. It's mate Jim. Boom. Well, bugger me. Sideways. I rather enjoyed that game. I'm definitely enjoying the 400s more than the 300s. I wish I could say that saying a lot, but it wasn't really. And the 300s was better than the 200s, and let's not talk about the 100s. But yeah, all good. And it's nice to see my friends improving. Very good. But Tasmaniacal, thank you for a very enjoyable game. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there was some good chess there. There's really not much to moan about, considering we're sub 500 at this point. Definitely some good awareness. Definitely signs of some calculation going on. But what a nice checkmate. So queen defends the bishop. Bishop defends the only square. And no one's defending that. And it's a very, very, very scrappy game. White's pawn structure is clearly preferable at this point. I've got a feeling that pawn structures are going to continue to play a big role as we move on. And I don't know if there are any blatantly hanging pieces there, which is quite good. But yeah, very enjoyable. And that, my friends, is the 400 to 500 range. Join me in the next episode as we go into the top half of the first 1,000. Yeah, so I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. See you later.